In today's Clash Royale video, we are gonna react to Mohamed Light sweep in the new $65,000 team competition against CRL with the best players in the world. As you guys can see over in the background, Ruben is also part of the team, and his deck decision, his absolutely insane micro plays, and also his decision making in the game is absolutely off this world, especially in this King of the Hill set. If you guys don't want to miss any type of this content, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to also check out Rich Slayton. I take the coverage from his cast, so make sure to check him out. And I would say instead we jump into that and let's see how great Mohamed Light really is. And I think we all know how good Mo really is, but at the end it's also about his decision making, his deck decisions, and so on. And I think this deck decision, I mean, I don't really know exactly why he's like picking this specific deck, because if he's gonna expect something, right, there are like a different type of decks you can play. An example, right, you're expecting a Royal Giant deck. You can play like Inferno decks, you can play really cheap Psychic decks which do really well against them with the Mighty Mine and so on. But I think in this type of matchup, Mo expected something maybe more heavy from Ruben, or like I think what he expected was like maybe with something more heavy and also like dual bridge spam, and that's why you have like the Inferno Tower plus Dark Prince, since Inferno Tower does pretty well against like beatdown decks, as we all know, but also having a Dark Prince in the deck against all the dual decks around there. So Mo plays the Kotori deck, aka the Nate deck, an absolutely insane player, an absolutely nice guy, and I absolutely like seeing this deck in competitive play, since you don't really see it a lot. You see it a lot on ladder for like 3 or like 4 people sometimes, like people are like sometimes using it, but in competitive you don't really see it a lot, since champions are just so busted that you kind of want to use them like the Mighty Mine instead of the Dark Prince. Also, this is the King of the Hill mode, so currently the CRL is 1-0 up, I think, because Ruben won his first game, and now we're gonna jump into this game here, and as you guys can see, what a perfect lock. And this is the micro I'm talking about, because yes, playing a log perfect can happen 1 or 2 times, but doing it all the time, it's important, and this is what sets him apart of other players. If you play the log all the time perfect, you're preventing like 500, 600 damage from the goblins, from the skeletons, from the graveyard again and again and again. And if you take a look, or if you're like watching this game, hopefully at the end with me, you're gonna see this sets him apart. This is like the difference from him winning this game most likely, because as you guys can see, he's going to be able to get almost a perfect defense here once again. I think, yeah, he gets like Ruben gets some damage, like really unlucky damage I would say, but now Mo's going to be aggressive minor poison, gets poison ball, and as you guys can see, Mo is always poisoning on offense when he knows he's getting value. He's never going to poison the goblins really early on in the game. He knows he's most likely going to respawn with Zappies, his Skillet King was out, and this is why he went in. So he's just going to go for goblins now in the back. He just goes also for a log here, good log, but still Ruben is up with so much damage, 700, and you're gonna argue Graveyard and Triple X is better in minor poison. He doesn't even have the free card cycle, so he's once again going for the poison spell here. And what Ruben is doing is really smart. He's just making sure to always go for the Graveyard, places Tombstone behind the tower, gets Skeleton King value also, and just does a pretty good job. So he's just gonna wait here a bit, now goes in for perfect timing. He's just gonna go for Ice Spirit here, perfect Ice Spirit, going in for an awesome log once again. And I think right now it's time for Mo to go in minor poison, at least that's what I think right now. He's gonna set up a Dark Prince once again. His Inferno is still alive, and he's just gonna go minor now, and now he's gonna go for the poison. He lets this damage go, right? He lets the damage go. He knows, okay, Ruben spent 2 elixirs, so I just let it go because I need to get some damage now, okay. Great Ice Spirit here. He's just gonna go for a Dark Prince. I think he's still, no, this time he's not gonna log. Okay, this is really interesting, but Ruben still has a Phoenix on the map, and he needs to go in for Inferno. I mean, Inferno is really good because it defends the one Phoenix, but also make sure at the same time, like Ruben faces other Phoenix in the back, that he gets well against that. And he goes in for minor poison, this time way more aggressive, but it's already like double elixir time, so you can do that. He goes in for delivery high. Skeleton spawn a bit unlucky for Mo there. The first one is spawning in the middle. Log is coming down a really great time. Tower goes down to 1.17 damage. He's just gonna go some for an Ice Spirit here. Really good Ice Spirit to clean it up. Dark Prince a bit like Dark Prince Spirit sucks here against that. Not gonna lie. Minus coming down. Phoenix is gonna clean it up, and still 200. There's 200 advantage for Ruben here, and also at the same time, keep in mind, arrows are doing a pretty significant damage. So this time he needs to go minor poison aggressive. Ruben once again catches that, but the miner still is able to get one shot. He goes to Dark Prince at the bridge just to make sure like he might get a connection here. He just goes in for miner. Minus coming down this time. He's going for a perfect lock. Once again, one skelly connected there. But I guess it's time for him to go for Dark Winds. He goes in for Ice Bird here. And I think, yeah, perfect delivery timing. This delivery time was once again perfect. Just one skeleton connect. He needs to go for a lock here on the left side. That's what he does. He goes in for a miner. He goes in for a poison spell. Snowball and offense here for Ruben. But as you guys can see, once again a perfect lock. And he defended it absolutely insane. At the same time, he takes tower. Wonderful, wonderful defense all game long, and even Ruben played it absolutely insane. Next in here was a sub, and if you guys don't know sub, he's like a really great player. I think I faced him like once or twice, like in the top of ladder of course, but also in the global tournament. So he's a really consistent player and kind of making his name right now. So Mo plays Esprit plus lock, so it seems like, okay, most likely it's gonna be Royal Giant, right? So in sub, plays in really good defensive control oriented drill deck, which I personally really like, and I just think it's a really cool deck. So what like sub is doing well now. I think like a bit bad. He just should have used the ability, because if he would have used the ability here, look at the elixir, he's still up 1, but if he would have used the ability, he would have been up like 1 plus 3, like 4 or like 4, 5. I don't know. Like I can't really calculate this, but like instead of like using 4 legs, you could have just used 1 and then maybe use the goblins like to clean up the fishermen, so and then just go drill. So you would have been in a way better situation. This are kind of things, right? This is like what makes Clash Royale so great, because there's like one single sequence in the game. If you would play them completely again and just would do like this switch up with like using Mighty Mine ability instead of the fireball, he could have had like a way better situation, because he gets some damage here, but like he could have gone for a drill. He could have been way more aggressive. But okay, and also like, I don't want to like flex here, but this deck which Mo plays is my deck. Julesy and me made this deck to counter Mo in the first game of the Clash Royale League monthly finals, where like I was able to beat Mo, and this is the deck we made. So it's pretty cool to see people using it in competitive, because Firecracker RG is something you don't really see a lot. But I saw some people, and I also got beaten in that with the deck in Caso Cup. So it feels really cool, right? I'm making a deck and I get like just destroyed by this. So here I think like that was a really great ability here. I think he needs to go for, oh, he's just gonna spam goblins. Look at the goblin spam, guys. He still needs to go for a log, and Mo gets the damage done. And Mo has a really good situation. He's like still up by 3. And we all know how annoying it is to defend Royal Giant consistently. You can just stack them in the bag, and especially against control decks like Duel or Miner, you're just gonna go for the Royal Giant in the bag. And as a control cycle player, you're always forced to play perfect defense, because otherwise you're just gonna lose it, because one Royal Giant push is gonna absolutely destroy you here. So the Musketeer is absolutely great. I wouldn't have played honestly the Bomb Tower there, even if I think the Lightning from Mo wasn't really too great, because now the next Musketeer is gonna absolutely destroying. And it's just really interesting to see like how Morg is like viable in 2 decks currently, or like 3 I would say. It's like the bridge variation, which a ton of people are playing. Like Mo also runs this, like a ton of pro players, top players. Great fireball by the way. And this is a deck which a ton of people are playing. And also I would say like Hawk Rider, sometimes people use this. It's like not really too common, but this is like a really good deck. And also I would say good Ice Bird by the way. Unfortunately didn't hit the Fisherman, so he's kind of struggling here, but still defends that in an okay way, kind of spitting up the damage Mo is doing here on both sides. And yeah, also of course this Royal Giant, I got like a different type of Royal Giant variation. So he's just gonna use a defensive RG, something really interesting I don't really see anyone doing, but this was a really good RG, because the RG has still like a ton of life, and also the Phoenix is like supporting it. So the Phoenix is behind there. What an awesome log by Mo here. Yes, the Monk is not in tower range, but look at the elixir. Look at the elixir, guys. It's absolutely incredible. And Mo is just like absolutely doing an awesome, like Mo is putting him in an awesome situation, because he's up and he's like going into trouble with an elixir advantage. He's like not really down in damage, like just a bit, but Lightning is kind of bringing him back into the game compared to Fireball. But what Mo's doing here really great is like just splitting up the troops here. So if I would have been sub, I would have immediately fireballed the right side, because this Cracker, take attention to this Cracker, guys. This Cracker is a nightmare for sub, because the Bomb Tower gets distracted, so the Bomb Tower goes onto the left side. It's not splashing the Cracker here, once again not splashing. And look at the 2 Crackers here, absolutely doing a ton of damage. And right now it's time for Mo to just pressure him in again. These Crackers are just continuing to just absolutely pressure him here. And also his bomb tower comes late. And I need to say, this is a game, or like also this retarget was interesting. We feel like, okay, maybe Mo can lose this one, maybe Mo doesn't have it under control, but this is kind of thing, like, right, you can always like argument for a bit of luck in this type of games when he's always winning it like close. But like if you win these games close consistently, like luck gets to skill, I would say. Like that's like a really skill like move or like skill character sign, I would say. Like if he's like always able to close out these close games, always winning these close games back to back to back, yeah, I would say like if luck gets consistent, you should call it skill. This is my opinion, at least. Here we go, guys, next game, and now I think we got a really clean snipe by Mohamed Light, and this is what sets him apart. Also, it's not just the gameplay game, what an awesome word, but also it's not just the gameplay, it's also for sure the ability with his coach Shabus to know exactly what they do expect in terms of matchups and already putting him in a matchup situation where he's feeling comfortable, right? If you have like a good player with a good matchup against the worst player, because like I think like everyone is worse than Mo currently, you already won, right? Like Mo is so good, you give him a great matchup, he's just gonna destroy everyone. And now you guys gonna see, this is now a really good play. So a ton of you guys maybe would have used the tornado on defense, but no, Mo knows the fair rank is absolutely enough, and just like this, he's putting an awesome job, awesome work here on defense. On offense, the fair rank is not doing anything. The E-Giant connects, and the Fire Spirit makes sure the Lava Pup's dying, and it was just an absolutely awesome and fair rank. Now he just goes in for his going at the bridge, because he knows Vitor can't really do anything about that. And now Mo is absolutely up here, and he's playing a deck which you don't really expect from him, right? Who expects a beatdown deck from Mo, or like E-Giant especially? And now he's like playing some Lava, he plays some Golem also, but not really this type of E-Giant deck. So he's just gonna use the Bomber, and I think Mo just decides to go, yeah, this time he just goes in for an Inferno Ring here, because he knows if Vitor drops his Inferno Ring behind his Lava, he will just easily able to go in for his Inferno Ring, for his E-Giant to block this Inferno Ring. So he's just gonna use a cage here. This time he won't be able, but it's still okay. Just using a Fireball here. Interesting Fireball, and now it's like about the perfect E-Giant placement for Mo, because if he's not playing it perfectly, the Inferno Ring might be out of E-Giant range and just absolutely destroyed. So he's going really low placement. And how's he gonna defend this? This is the big question now. He's just gonna go for a Lightning here, but the balloon gets targeted now, and he's just still gonna go for a tornado here because he knows he can. He's just gonna go for a Fire Spit. Really smart Fire Spit by Mo, because he knows one of these Fire Spit puts him in lightning range. He doesn't need to commit an E-Giant anymore. So just chipping away. It's really smart. He's also doing it now with a Bomber, because that forces out arrows from Vitor, because he doesn't want to lose his tower. So just like making positive elixir trades by a Bomber at the bridge, by a Fire Spit at the bridge, instead of playing it in the back, which most of the players would do. It's just like, it makes sense, right? If you see it, it makes sense, but still, so many people don't do it. So he's just gonna go for a Inferno Ring here on top of the Lava Hound. I guess he's just gonna chill here. He might just go for a Tornado. Tornado is coming down, really insane Fire Spirit. The Inferno Ring is going to be doing a great job. He's still playing a KG to make sure the balloon's stuck, or like stuck in the range of the Inferno Ring. The right tower is going to be down. He will also lighting the left tower. That's a clean sweep by Mohamed Light. That's kind of what you expect, right? It looks so easy on paper, but like if you look at behind that, the first game, he should, imagine he would have lost this game. There would have been never a sweep. So make sure to stop Mo as early as you can. Make sure to check out also Which, as I said, in the comment section below. Awesome content, awesome streams. And I would say I'm out. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comment section if you guys want to see it more often. I would say I'm out. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye.